Using cloud service as an entry point, 251 Telecom under Addis Alamayahu is venturing into the telecom sector. He recounts a journey spanning 25 years, initiated by the signing of an MOU with Vodacom in 1998 when the Ethiopian telecom market was closed. The company had to bide its time until the regulatory environment caught up, marked by the entry of Safaricom Ethiopia into the market. Granted a virtual internet service provider and mobile services license from the Ethiopian Communication Authority, the company's plan is contingent upon the ongoing viability of the policy framework. In an interview with our Deputy Editor-in-Chief Munir Shemsu, the two executives discussed crucial aspects such as data protection, cybersecurity, and the rising prominence of decentralized cloud services across Africa.
We've been spending money on it, that's why. I mean, it's very simple. Like, for most of the businesses I start, it starts from the pain point of my own personal pain point, right? So my pain point is every time we invest in a startup and we build an app, that app has to be hosted somewhere. And that money has to be paid in dollars. And you look at that over 15 or 16 different companies that we've invested in, it adds up, right? And then we look around in the ecosystem, and it's one of the pain points. And I'm very active on social media, and you know, I have a lot of kids that you know, ping me and say, dude, like, can you pay $150 for this server or that server or this service or that service? So it's like, it's a major pain point. And I believe that's going to be a relief, at least in the next 90 days before you land. I think every single laptop hardware equipment for IT infrastructure should be coming in duty-free. 100%, I will say this loud. Duty-free, 100% duty-free. That needs to happen immediately, and not any sort of infrastructure that helps young people build software and sell software and provide services to both local clients and outside clients. That should come duty-free. There's no reason why we're charging duty for a laptop if we really want to move this country forward. So we are a franchisee. So this is our market. We're an exclusive partner for them in Ethiopia. They provide these services in about 8 or 9 African markets, including South Africa. They have some of the biggest tier 1 clients in South Africa and beyond. So we've been talking to them for close to a year and a half, probably maybe about a year, and just getting ready in terms of the technology, and we had to wait until Raxio was up and running in order to be able to provide the service. Raxio just launched in November, and that's when we started doing the due diligence and moving forward. So now we're ready. Raxio is up and running. The server and the equipment will be coming in soonly, and then we launch the services. This is a shared infrastructure investment. So they're investing, we're investing. This is probably going to be the $200,000+ in terms of the infrastructure that's about to come and be installed at the Raxio data center. But if you look at what Raxio has invested, what $80 billion to build this data center. So it's a major infrastructure. And then we'll be using obviously Ethio Telecom or Safaricom to get to the end customer, because the customer will use whatever rail that they want to plug into our cloud services. So in terms of the investment to make this happen, I mean, we look at the total infrastructure for telecom infrastructure services in Ethiopia. Don't just look at our little minute investment. This is a huge infrastructure investment to bring the service to the people, because you don't rely on one entity, right? You rely on Ethio Telecom's infrastructure, you rely on Safaricom's infrastructure, you rely on Raxio's data center infrastructure to provide the service. So it's a combination, it's a partnership. I think the question of bandwidth and speed and reliability in regards to the internet in Ethiopia, I think that question has been answered. I don't think, we're not where we were 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So I don't think that's an issue. I think right now it's using the infrastructure to add value. It's using the infrastructure to create new businesses, and it's using the infrastructure to provide the services that the local population, as well as possibly outside, clients would need. So there's plenty of young people, like I said, and plenty of local companies that are doing BPO services for clients outside, and cloud services and data centers is critical. I mean, the sad truth is the city of Frankfurt has more data centers than the continent of Africa. Let me live. It is what it is. The city of Frankfurt has more data storage capacity and servers than the whole continent of Africa. Per use, I mean, we're currently studying what the market is looking at, or what the market is willing to pay. So there'll be services for the corporate clients, there'll be services for SMEs, there'll be services for startups, and there'll be services for the consumer. Right? So every market has its own sort of niche of what it wants, and so we're ready to give people exactly what they want. And then we also want people to let us know that these are the services. But from the inquiries we made, and from our own personal investment in the tech space, we spend quite a bit of money on cloud services, on Amazon, on Google, just on our email server and website hosting. To just avoid paying that in foreign currency and paying for it here, and then having the infrastructure right here in Bole. I mean, that you can't beat that. It's the fastest growing one. Obviously, because we have to scale up quickly. I think we're at probably 11 or 12 people at the moment, but we're scaling up as the service becomes. But then you don't need a lot of people to provide the service, because it's a virtual service. So you need a call center to be able to handle customer care. You need technology guys to be able to help customers plug into the system, and then you need 24/7 support. Because the services uptime is 99.9%. Like, there's no downtime. There cannot be a downtime. So in fact, we have to be in a place where we have 24 hours, 7 days a week internet and power, which is Roxy. So our infrastructure, our office is going to be right next to Roxy. So we have our own service that we're going to be placing at Roxio, and then hopefully when you do the next interview, you could ask me how that process was. Okay. And that's why they hint around the DD-free equipment. That, I think that would be probably, I envision that to be some sort of a challenge. But we have the support of the Ethiopian Telecom Authority in that regard. So we have the license, so it's just a matter of using the license and their good offers to be able to bring the equipment. But once that's in, it's a matter of testing the equipment to make sure it's optimized for the servers, and then the rest is, it's quick, it's plug and play. That's the easy thing. If we were doing this on our own from scratch, there'd be a learning curve, and just even finding the resource and the talent locally to be able to provide the service would have been a challenge. I think for now, the fact that we have a partner such as TouchNet to be able to do this, for us it's plug and play. It's much easier. It's like, do I want to design my own car, or become, a Kia or a Hyundai partner and then just assemble Hyundai cars and provide the service? That's the way I look at it. We do. We have some amazing talent. They're just quiet. They're doing their work, and they're getting paid. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So like I said, we've invested in 16 startups. A couple of them are digital media players, both in the music and the movie space. And we want to get into the content space. There's huge upsurge of TikTokers and influencers at the moment. every single one of them needs a cloud service provider, right? So we see them as both partners, and I believe there's a huge opportunity in Ethiopia, irrespective of the fact that we were never colonized, right? The fact that we were never colonized leaves 99.9% of the population outside the internet, because they don't speak English, they don't speak French, they don't speak Spanish, they don't speak Arabic, right? Unless you bring the content in Orominya, Amarinya, Tigrinya, you're leaving them out. So I don't think people realize how big of a market that is, right? So if you're a kid in, I don't know, in somewhere in Wallo, and you want to open up a burger joint and you want to learn how to make a burger, where do you go? If you speak English, there's 40,000 channels on YouTube you can watch how to make a burger. But if you speak Amharic only, or Orominya only, or Tigrinya only, where are you going to go? I think the growth, the potential for content in this country, especially in local languages, is endless, kind of untapped. Unfortunately, the content that's out there is divisive, and it's not building a nation; it's dividing us up. We hope to, if they allow it. But for me, I mean, we provide the service regardless of which entity it is. We believe we have a premium service. We believe we have a service that's second to none globally, and we believe we have. We believe we have a price point that is going to be unbeatable, and the reliability, especially around security, that is a critical component as well. So we had a small workshop with some of the banks and switches and fintechs yesterday at the Sheraton, and every single one of them was basically impressed with what we brought to the table. So it's something that everybody needs. So if the government wants to jump in and use the service, same. If not, there's plenty of other, customers willing to take it out.